Brian Lehrer on WNYC. In September, the author and syndicated columnist Dan Savage started an online movement called It Gets Better, following a rash of suicides by gay teenagers across America. He began by making a YouTube video with his partner Terry, encouraging lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender young people to hold on to hope even when faced with severe bullying. 2 months later, the It Gets Better project has turned into a worldwide movement, inspiring over 50,000 user-created videos with over 15 million views. Dan Savage joins us today. Hi, Dan. Welcome back to WNYC.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Now, did I get that number right? Is it 5? It's 5,000 user-created videos,
Yeah,
right?
more than 5,000 at this point.
And let's start by just listening to a clip of Dan himself from the It Gets Better video that started the campaign.
If my adult self could talk to my 14-year-old self and tell him anything, I would tell him to really believe the lyrics to Somewhere from West Side Story. There really is a place for us, and there really is a place for you. And one day you will have friends who love and support you. You will find love. You will find a community, and that life gets better.
So, Dan, when you and your partner Terry first posted this video, what did you expect?
Well, I hoped that maybe 100 or a couple of hundred listeners to my podcast and readers of my column would respond as we had responded to the suicides, make a video, put it up, talk about not our experiences so much with bullying, but our experiences as adults and our satisfaction and contentment, our joy, really. And the day it went up, my email crashed because we were getting so many emails about it through the YouTube account we created. And within 12 hours, we had 6 videos. And within 24 hours, we had, I think, 100 videos. And by the end of 5 days, we reached the limit for the number of videos we could post on our YouTube account of 650. And so just in 5 days, we went to 650. And at that point, we realized that this was going to be something much bigger than we expected.
And we're going to play, in just a minute, a longer clip from one of the videos that was submitted. This is going to be about 2 minutes long. But just to set this up, when you watch the videos submitted by other people, you see them sharing their very personal, emotional stories. What did you learn?
Oh, my God. You know, what I learned was that the old deal was crashing with these videos, that we had unleashed something. By my partner and I giving ourselves permission to talk to these LGBT kids, because that was really what was radical about the act. The deal had always been for gay adults, implicitly, you're ours to torture till you're 18, and then you can do what you want. You can move to New York City, you can come out, you can do whatever you want once you're 18. The only thing you're not allowed to do is talk to the kids we're currently still torturing. Because if you try to talk to them, if you try to reach out to them, we'll accuse you of being a pedophile, we'll accuse you of recruiting or attempting to brainwash, like Carl Palladino. And my partner and I, by giving ourselves permission to talk about our experience of bullying, to talk to these kids, gave everybody else permission to not just talk to these kids, but also open up to them, about what they experienced and to each other. And that's what's been kind of most shocking for us, is we've watched videos that friends made talking about their bullying experiences. We had no idea what they went through. These close friends, people we'd known for 10, 15, 20 years, no idea what they'd suffered, because we all sort of pretended it didn't happen. And that was really what was hardest sometimes about watching videos, make us cry. We'd sit there and watch these videos, people talking about what they suffered, and then how far they'd come, how much joy they had in their lives now, and we were tremendously moved.
Because they all concluded with the idea that it gets better?
It gets better. And that's the message that a lot of these kids really need to hear. If you're 13, 14, 15 years old, what you're saying, I think, when you kill yourself because you're being bullied, is that you can't picture a future with enough joy in it to compensate for the pain you're in now. And by adult LGBT people, which is very hard to say, opening up about their lives now, not just sharing their bullying stories, but opening up about their satisfactions, their happinesses, reconciliations with families that may have been homophobic, the loves in their lives, the friends in their lives. It really disproves the lies that so many of these kids have been told about being gay or lesbian, bi or trans, that they're going to be miserable, that their families will never accept them, that they'll never find a faith tradition that accepts them if their current one rejects them. And by adult gays and lesbians and bi and trans folks opening up about their lives, it really shattered for a lot of these kids those lies, and hopefully did the job of giving them hope to hang in.
Judy in Orangeburg, you're on WNYC with Dan Savage. Hi, Judy.
Hi, Brian. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I wanted to thank Dan for his campaign. I'm the mother of a young gay youth, And he and I watched the videos together, and I have to say, we cry together, we laugh together. He loves them. I think it gives him a real feeling like there is a future for him, that he can have the life everyone else has by seeing what other people have to say. So I wanted to thank him for that.
Thank you. And I'm glad the videos have been a tonic for your son.
I think a lot of people who are critical probably don't have a child in this situation who actually, can get something from them. And I encourage schools to also have children watch them.
Judy, thank you so much. Antonia in Emerson, New Jersey. You're on WNYC. Hi, Antonia.
Hello. Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate this opportunity. And I think that Mr. Savage's overall approach is really important, because suicide is just such a tragedy. As a transgendered woman, I know that it has gotten better. I have my own independent business. My surgery was paid for by insurance in the 90s, so we have made huge progress. The problem is that we're not going to make any more progress unless we combine caring for our own community with political action. The Republicans are obviously a lost cause, but as someone with a progressive bent, it seems to me that the Democrats have taken us totally for granted. Let me point out that the Defense of Marriage Act was signed by Mr. Clinton, as was Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and we still have a Democratic president, President Obama, who still is playing games with removing Don't Ask, Don't Tell. It would certainly help to support Mr. Savage's campaign if occasionally we could get a little more progress on the social and political side. I want to compliment his efforts. Thank you very much, Brian.
Antonia, thank you very much. And in fact, one of the It Gets Better videos was submitted by President Obama.
I don't know what it's like to be picked on for being gay, but I do know what it's like to grow up feeling that sometimes you don't belong. It's tough. And for a lot of kids, the sense of being alone or apart, I know it can just wear on you. And when you're teased or bullied, it can seem like somehow you brought it on yourself for being different or for not fitting in with everybody else. But what I want to say is this: you are not alone. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything to deserve being bullied.
But Dan Savage, I think you've been critical of President Obama along the lines of our last caller, right?
I have. I've been a very vocal critic of President Obama and the Obama administration for the foot dragging on LGBT issues. And the chickens are coming home to roost. The percentage of the gay vote that went to Republicans in the midterms, which I find mind-blowing, increased by, I think, 30%.
The stat I saw was 31% of people who identified as gay in the exit polls voted for Republicans?
Yeah, and it was a huge jump. And because a lot of gay voters are concluding that if there's no progress under the Democrats and no regress really on gay rights under the Republicans, what difference does it make who you vote for? I find that very short-sighted. I'm not a single-issue voter myself, even as a gay voter. Some people criticize me for thanking the president for making the video and praising the video, but it is, we can hold their feet to the fire on policy and the changes and the promises that were made to the gay community that there hasn't been action on DOMA and DADT, while also acknowledging, here you have the President of the United States saying to gay kids, there is nothing wrong with you. You've done nothing to deserve this bullying. And that is implicitly the President of the United States saying to gay kids, there's something wrong with the people in your life who are telling you there's something wrong with you, which includes your peers, all too often for LGBT kids, their parents, their preachers, their faith leaders. That is tremendously powerful. And as a gay person who can remember what it was like to be a gay kid, if I had had the President of the United States on my side in that way 35 years ago when I was in high school, it would have been very powerful. And we're very grateful to the President for contributing a video.